Hello and welcome back to the Yarn Hoarder's Crafting Podcast. My name is Sasha and I'm coming to you today from a very temperamental town just outside of Birmingham in the West Midlands here in the UK. We have a significant jump in subscribers, so I wish to start by saying thank you to Mouse's Makes for mentioning my channel. When I linked to her channel, I was not expecting her to shout me out or anything. I was kind of just showing off her yarn. But hello, welcome, and we shall jump in. I have 4 whips to talk about today. One of them I'm going to mention but I'm not going to show, and another one is not really knitting or crochet related, but it is crafting, and since I kind of keep saying this is a crafting podcast, I figured I'd show that. So I will start with the project I don't have here to show you, which is my garter stitch blankets. I'm not going to show it every week just because it's quite long. It doesn't matter how much I work on it, it's only going to be a couple of rows each week realistically. But I have worked on that. And next whip I should talk about is my current on-the-go sock project. This is knit using the Opal Surprise in 4065, which is this very dusty rainbow colour. I hope this is all in frame because the mirror I use has disappeared, so I can't tell if any of this is in frame. And I have an amazing amount of progress on this, absolutely amazing. I have this much. So I think I was about 6 or 7 rows away from finishing the rib last week, and as you can see I have just finished the rib and just started the main body of the sock. So these are 64 stitches on a 2.5mm 9-inch circular. I'm doing 25 rounds of 2x2 rib, and then this textured pattern. It's one I kind of came up with. I might write this out as a free pattern in the future, but it was just something to keep me, yeah, I think it's nice. I think I like it. We shall see once I finish this sock eventually. As you can see, there's not really that much to show. I usually knit this mostly at the gym. Due to other circumstances outside of my control, I went to the gym a grand total of once this past week. So, and then I did a lot of other exercises that couldn't knit through. So that's that one. Hopefully this gets a little bit more work now, but yeah. The next project, which has seen the most amount of work, and I have got to the point with this project that I'm sick and tired of the sight of it and I want it finished. This is the project that has been fighting me at every possible opportunity. And this is my maybe top. It is called the maybe top because when I started it I wasn't sure what it was going to be. Then I was like, I think it might be a top, and now it is a top, so it's just kind of stuck as the maybe top. And yeah, this has been fighting me at every possible opportunity, and I am now desperate to get this finished because I'm sick of the sight of it. It's also coming to the end of summer, so I'm not really going to be able to wear this, so I kind of want to finish it so I can start on some more autumnal wintry projects. But this is a crocheted top using a 4.5mm crochet hook, as well as a 3.5mm needle for the ribbing and the I-cord. The yarns for this are LD's So Crafty Fancy Yarn Pink Stonewashed, that's purple. The very discontinued Sirdar Simply Recycled in the colourway Greenhouse. So I now know this is discontinued, and very discontinued, because when I went into my local yarn shop to buy this one, which I'll get to in a minute, I asked her about this yarn because she stocks Serda, and apparently this yarn was discontinued back in 2018. I didn't buy it in 2018, I actually bought it from a charity shop, but yeah, so I couldn't get any more of the purple or the green, so I ended up buying some Serda Snuggly Replay in the colourway Daredevil Denim to finish this top, so that I wasn't flashing people every time I lifted my arms above my head. And it is this very, very roughly bottomed top. Yeah, I've still got another 100 grams of yarn to put into this top, which realistically, given its crochet, I could probably have this done if I focus on it in the next 2 days, which I might do. It depends what I get up to over the next couple of days. But yeah, I am sick of this project now. I want to finish it so that I can throw it into a drawer and not look at it until next year. I did also add the crochet top stitching here. I did the same around the neckline. I showed that last week. And I think it's coming out quite well. I think once I finish this, put it away, and not looked at it for a couple of months, by the time I pull this back out, I will probably really like this. But she's fighting, and I am now determined to finish her out of pure spite. So that's what's been getting most of my making attention this past week. And the last project I want to show you is something I started last year in about November. I then put it away and promptly forgot about it until earlier this week. Actually, I think I found it again when I was sorting it last week, but I finally started working on it again this week. And it is a diamond painting. So this is it's Stitch with the doll's name is Scrump. I don't know who made this one. I don't know where it's from. Might be Corvea Associates, potentially. But I found this at a charity shop for £1. So I have a couple of these in my hallway, along with some jigsaws that I've stuck together and framed. So this is another one for me to add to the hallway once it's eventually done. So when I pulled this out, I had all of this lot along the bottom already done. So I started doing the stuff across the top. When I do these, I generally do sort of work slowly up and down and then meet in the middle. So this has come out along. I don't know if I'll show this all that often. I don't know how much I'm going to work on this. But yeah, I really like it. I'm a big Stitch fan. So that's that one. As I said, I don't really know where it came from, as I bought it from a charity shop, so I don't know if I can link this down below. There are some companies that do a lot of these quite cheaply. I think you can find some on Temu. I don't really use websites like that, so I just know from what I've heard from other people. But I'm sure if somebody is determined to get a Stitch diamond painting, you could probably find one quite easily on Amazon or any other websites. And for works in progress, that's actually it for this week. I'm now going to go on to life stuff, which kind of shows why I haven't had much time for all that much crafting this week. Anybody in the UK might be aware that it was a bank holiday weekend this past weekend, so Monday was a bank holiday. And on Friday, I ended up going to the gym in the morning, which I don't normally do. I did a class, so I did that. I came back from the gym and I stopped at the butcher's on the way home. I was like, just as you do, normal lifey adulting stuff. Opened my fridge and was like, why is everything warm? My fridge freezer had died, which was not very fun on a bank holiday weekend. So Friday afternoon, which for me is usually the time I'd go to the gym and get a lot of crafting done, or if I've done a morning class, I can do sort of crafting and relaxing. No, instead I had to go over to Curry's, and me and my partner spent the better part of 2 hours looking at, deciding between, and buying a new fridge freezer. So for a normal person, that would be the kind of the end of the story, really. You'd buy it, you'd schedule it for delivery, clear out the old one, and stuff. Me and my partner decided, since it was the bank holiday weekend and we needed to do it anyway, we were in the process of starting doing it, that we were going to redecorate the entirety of the kitchen over the weekend, specifically over the Saturday and Sunday. So the fridge freezer was scheduled to be delivered between 7 o'clock and 11 o'clock Saturday morning. Whoever likes having new appliances delivered at 7 o'clock in the morning, why? How? I'm hardly ever conscious at 7 o'clock in the morning. But we got up, we did all the stuff, and we redecorated the kitchen over those 2 days. I might put a couple of clips or pictures in of the finished results. But yeah, so we stripped everything off the walls that we could. We got out the old fridge freezer, we wiped down all the walls, and we painted the entirety of the kitchen, which is no small task because so when we bought this place, we knew it was going to be a bit of a doer-upper. There was going to be a lot of painting and decorating because the previous owners had bought it from somebody who used to rent it out. Now, if you've ever been in the UK and you've ever rented a property, you're going to know exactly what I mean by the entire house was renter's spec. Every single wall was covered in magnolia, including the kitchen, which in the kitchen, magnolia goes really yellow. And we hated it. We needed it gone. We were getting to the point where it was really bugging us. It is no longer magnolia. It is a lovely, bright, cheery spring green colour, which I'm absolutely loving, and I like being in that kitchen a lot more now. But of course, it meant our entire Saturday and Sunday was spent doing that and basically nothing else. So no crafting got done. I think I managed to get about half a row done on my blankets in the evening, but that's because we watched telly before going to bed. So that's my life stuff sort of thing. We decided to do that, which I don't recommend trying to do an entire kitchen all by yourself over the course of 2 days. It's not fun. But yeah, and then Monday we decided that because we haven't tortured ourselves enough, we decided to get our bikes out and go for one last hurrah on the bikes before the summer disappears and dreary old wet weather returns. So that's life stuff. Because of that, I haven't really done any reading this week, but we have been watching a fair bit of stuff. We've been continuing with the Peaky Blinders. I think we're over halfway through season 2 now. We've finished the first half of Wednesday, so yeah, Wednesday on Netflix, I think it is. They've released it in 2 parts, haven't they? Which I really hate it when they do that. Just release the entire series. I hate it when they decide to do a, like, oh, we're going to release it in 2 parts and leave you on a nice big cliffhanger in the middle. Like, really? That's just cheap. And I've also been watching The Gilded Age. Don't think we've watched anything else. We've been a bit too busy with everything else. But yeah, this has been a bit of a rambly episode, hasn't it? Nobody really needs to know about my redecorating of the kitchen, although maybe that does interest you. But I shall try and put a clip or a picture or something of the new bits. And that is everything for this week. Just double check my notes. I have a couple of goals, if it's at all possible, for this week. I would like to finish my Maybe top. I would also like to get a decent chunk done on these socks, as well as get back to my golden oak tank top to finish that. Mostly so that I can start a bunch of more autumnal, wintry, cosy projects. And I don't really want the rest of these like lingering until next spring, so. But other than that, thank you for watching this week. Thank you for watching this week's episode of the Yarn Hoarders Crafting Podcast, and I hope to see you next week. Bye guys.